So there is a huge issue that is seriously holding you back. Everybody loves the highlight reels. Very few people glamorize or even talk about those dark days in the gym, those long nights. Your favorite guru, everybody online really, is guilty. They are guilty of showing nothing but nonstop highlight after highlight after highlight. And so if you're a young person trying to break into this world, you're sitting there going, that is what I want. That's who I want to be. That's what I'm going to become. And you're disconnected from the mindset required to actually become that. Not to mention half that stuff online is fake anyway. This is a mindset video, another one. I have to make it because it's the greatest good. I want to be a tactics guy. I want to give you the step-by-step for how to make money. And then I do that and I realize that if you aren't right here, if you aren't rock solid, if you aren't what you need to become, then you're never going to make it. And quite frankly, that isn't acceptable for any follower of Rob the Bank here. And so I want to try to fundamentally rewrite some of that for you on the other side of the screen. If you're watching this video, I hope for this to be a blessing. Again, if you don't know me, I objectively outrank your favorite ecom guru in more ways than one. I've been at this game a long time. I don't mean for that to sound like a, there's not supposed to be ego in that. I'm just saying I've built a life that objectively is highly desirable. And I'm just getting started. And there's magic in that because this isn't about me, right? This is about being the student and the teacher. You're always the student in life, and then you must teach what you were taught. If you want to be a billionaire, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to make $100,000, you need to know that you are signing up for a level of pressure, pain, and general emotional distress that otherwise you didn't know existed. You just didn't know it existed. Think about it like this. If you took a drug forever, right, and life is good, and you're abusing this drug, and all of a sudden one day you stop taking that drug, and then you're met with the harsh reality of those side effects. That is what becoming rich and wealthy is really like in this world, okay? And it's the people that put everything into it. It's the people that put their soul into it. Those are the ones that will ultimately get there, right? Too often it's easy to numb ourselves. Too often it's easy to quit. And the frame in which we look at it is clinically off base. And that's why no one is getting where they want to go. That's why everyone's frustrated. Everyone online looking for a step-by-step. Someone teach me. Someone show me how this is done. And it's all bullshit. Because the truth is, if you're iron here, it doesn't matter what game you're playing. You know, you get to a certain point, you could put me in a battlefield in the 1800s and I'm going to rise out that motherfucker. Like, that's just how it goes when you're training here, first and foremost. And the interesting thing, like if you think about billionaires and you think about like a Bezos or a Trump, the level of pressure and stress that they simply disregard and manage cognitively, it is insane. It is insane. A lot of y'all can't get to work on time and are worried about your car payment and rent being due and maybe a little bit extra for Uber Eats or whatever, right? Then you think about a billionaire on the other side of that, and it's like they have a million businesses, a million investments, a million people counting on them, and they just wear that. So if you're sitting there as a 20-year-old kid and you say, I want to be a billionaire, you need to know that you need to get to that point. You need to get to that point. And you have no idea what that looks like or how to prepare for it, right? And all I can constantly remind you of is that drug analogy, that growth is sickening. I put my soul into this world. I put my heart into this world. I put everything into this world. And if I look through how I got here, I mean, it starts with like basketball. It starts with pain and defeat. Sophomore year, I dedicated my life to making the varsity team. It's what I wanted. I outworked everyone. Every moment of every day, I didn't have friends. I didn't go on dates. Like, it was just me and my other homie working. And the reality was I didn't hit puberty and I athletically wasn't ready to make varsity. And I didn't, I gave it my everything. I tried out and I failed. And that failure killed me. You know what I mean? Like, I cried behind the bleachers. Like, it was everything. It was everything gone. And then I zoom out, right? Because that lesson, it taught me something, being able to prepare like that. Because later in college, I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to play for my college team after having taken a couple years off. And I came at it still largely, now I'm philosophizing. Now I'm sharing theories and learnings with you guys from the view of a 32-year-old who's reflected on this. But at the time, I subconsciously took all of those lessons. I subconsciously took the credibility built mentally. I took all of that and I applied it to that next chapter of my life, which was walking onto the college team, right? Same energy, same effort, same hustle. Knew I had to apply a little bit more, like networked a little bit with the team. Like I knew I had to do everything. I was leveling up. I was growing. Those are the things that make us as individuals, right? And it's almost those losses, those worst moments when you're not hitting that $1 million month you want so bad, or $100,000 a month, or $10,000 a month. I'll say that for my beginners. You want that $10,000 a month, that pain of giving everything to that $10,000 a month and not hitting it, that objective fucking pain, feeling that and knowing that you didn't hit it, but you wanted it more than everything. That is what's going to shape you physically, mentally. It's going to shape all of your moves. You might analyze the situation all of a sudden and go, this isn't working. It's so bad. It's killing me. I want it. And you might go, shit, I'm doing the wrong fucking business. I need to be doing TikTok shop with Rob, you know? Fuck all this social media marketing agency stuff. It was a scam. It's not working. It forces you to put a different lens on in your life. And that lens is what ultimately enables growth. I need that to make sense because that simple ideology never leaves. And the higher you raise the bar, the higher the goal you want, the more pain you are ascribing yourself to. That shit doesn't stop. It gets worse. It gets more people responsible on you. There's a lyric, you get rich and you have problems that you never thought. And that's true. It's just like I said, you never took that drug before and then you're off it and there's a sensation that hurts. You never had anxiety before. You never had stress before. And now all of a sudden you're learning to manage those. And what I could tell you with all of it though, is it does get easier. Hopefully, when you see videos like this, when there becomes a detachment from ego, from that single person view, and you realize that I'm just walking through this motherfucker ups and downs, like it's all another test, like it's all part of my book, like it's all part of my game, it gets easier. It really does. And that's the framework I want you to look through it at. I want you to detach from the stress and the reality. And I want you to know it's part of your own process and part of your own individual growth. You're developing skills. You're not where you want to be. You never are. And that's okay, but why let it sacrifice your happiness? Why let it compound in a worse nature? Why let it take you off your track in any way, shape, or form? When you start talking about being iron-minded, the challenges I know I'm going through over the last couple months, I know they're preparing me for that next level. I know it's going to make me that much more unstoppable. You didn't want to go against me last year? Well, you're damn sure not going to want to go against me next year. You know what I mean? Nothing's breaking me. Nothing. And the harder the challenge, the better off you're going to be. I look at the other guy too on this, who had a run on this app, right? And has spent time in jail as a fighter and ran up a huge info offer that I'm just not going to talk about. But you look through the tribulations that man's been through, and the ability to go to jail, the whole you shoot a man with his last bullet, he's standing there, like that shit's real. And you should embody that no matter where you're at. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. The worse the down, the more room for an incredible rise. I want to see y'all make it. I want to give y'all tactics. I want to tell you exactly how to make money. But that shit doesn't matter if you're not right here. You have got to get right here. Do the work. Do the work. Journal. Pray. Be still. Train your physical body. Zoom out. Have the right conversations. Be in the right rooms. Eliminate all those negative stimuli that are holding you back. Become who you need to be. I got you. I am there for you. I believe in you. It's been a fun year for me. And if you ever want to repay me for all of it, just go get fucking rich yourself.